Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of Off Duty. This episode number 11 is going to be exploring Probie.
With the wonderful Sean Murray. I am Cote DePablo, and this is Michael Weatherly.
Welcome to Off Duty, an NCIS Rewatch podcast. Today on the show, it's Season 3, Episode 10, Probie. When McGee shoots an unarmed undercover cop, the team work to clear his name. I'm going to give you the episode synopsis.
Oh, please.
McGee shoots and kills a man in an alley who turns out to be a D.C. Metro police detective who was working undercover. When the team is unable to find any weapon or bullets left behind by anyone other than McGee, it appears that McGee may have made a fatal Probie mistake. McGee begins to doubt himself, but Gibbs is suspicious there's more than meets the eye. And do you know who guest stars in this? William Gregory Lee, who I did a TV show called Dark Angel with.
Yeah, he was terrific in the show. And also, by the way, I love the way you read that. It's very monotone, lifeless.
Now, some context. This episode, Probie, aired November 22nd, 2005. Why is that an important date? Well, I seem to recall in 1963, November 22nd, who was assassinated?
John F. Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. And this is a show about killing somebody, pulling a trigger. Interesting.
Actually, for the first time.
Yeah.
It's what makes him Probie.
And there were a couple of other things that happened on November 22nd, 2005, exactly, when this aired. The Thanksgiving Day parade M&M float got tangled up in a wire. People were sent to the hospital. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire earned over $100 million in its first 3-day weekend. Think of that. I'm sorry, I went somewhere else.
What?
Are we still taping? Let's start this show.
Guess my instruction on the range paid off, huh?
Tony, I killed somebody, okay?
Yeah, I was hoping when I woke up this morning it was all a nightmare.
Yeah, I know. Denozo. Being nice to me means I'm really in trouble.
Used for the treatment of depression, nervous tension, flatulence, and irritable bowel syndrome.
Are you denying that more than one of those apply to you?
Still working on the novel, I see, huh?
Denozo, I'm begging you, do not rag on me tonight, okay? Had an epiphany.
Aha! So the aromatherapy worked.
Don't ever hesitate because you second-guessed yourself again. I'll take your badge. We clear?
Clear.
Just to be really clear, I'm off duty.
Oh, welcome to Off Duty.
Sean Murray. You're back, baby.
I'm back, baby.
Thank you. It's like the same. It's like when you go to the dentist's office and you sit in the same chair and it's the same waiting room and the same.
What?
And I don't know. For me, time stops. Time
Like
stops.
what?
Every time I get into the dentist chair, there is no calendar. I don't know what date. I'm just in that chair. I'm in that
And it's
moment in
painful, by
time.
the way, most
And
of
that moment in time goes through, it's like, oh, just say, ah. All right, let's talk a little bit about an episode that you may recall. And they went straight to the heart of the matter and called it Probie.
Probie-licious.
The episode called...
Do you remember, it was always a time when you got the next episode. Now, if I can, just memory lane, get up to 30,000 feet, take a little bird's eye on this one. Do you remember when you got the script? You had to eat it immediately, like you had to consume it. You had to know. And you didn't just look for your parts, maybe a little bit. But
Like, how many lines do I have?
But you also,
that's the first read.
but you wanted to know what it was. But the other thing is, we watch the shows. Now, I didn't realize how unusual this is, because when I started doing the next show, Bull, I'd come in the day after, like on Wednesday, I'd be like, what'd you guys think of that air show last night? And everyone's like,
What?
oh, were we on last night? I'm like, isn't this the most important thing in your life too?
It was a different time, too.
It was a different
we
time.
were
But-
highly excited.
Yeah. And that's why it's so easy for me. And I would assume that the reason that we have a little quorum here is because you were looking forward to seeing what crazy little magic fairy dust they sprinkled in the edit and like how the music came in and like, how did that scene go in the interrogation? And because you're making this thing and then you make another one and then you make another one. And then by the time you're making like the fourth or fifth one, the one you made all the way back then airs.
Yeah.
And you're reading the one that's coming next. So you kind of have, and sometimes we'd be shooting 2 episodes at the same time.
Yes,
And
but
looping
when
a
you-
third.
Yes,
and
but
doing
when you
voice work on the third.
got your episode, and this is
Yeah.
distinctly your episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think when you read that script?
Any memory?
That I better deliver.
Well, you delivered.
Pressure?
No, it was. I remember hearing about it early because I'm pretty sure it's a Frank and George script, and I think originally the whole because it's about McGee killing someone in the line of duty
For the first
shooting
time.
someone in the line of duty for the first time, ends up being an undercover cop, but the whole thing of a rookie agent going through their first shooting in the line of duty was something that I think in an early version of the script was something just sort of dealt with in one act was talked about. And I think when that script was banging around, Don Belisario was like, no, that's a really important moment for this character.
Well, it's a character-defining
This needs to be
moment.
the whole show.
It's not the first Probie-centric, because remember Danica came in and you did the one where you got hypnotized.
What is it?
What's happening?
She's heard a sound. She's scared.
She was a witness across the way.
And it was like a rear window thing. That
Right.
was season 2 because that was with Sasha, I remember.
Okay. Thank God you're here. Yes, that was. That's right. It was season 2.
But you getting hypnotized. But that was, I remember, I think the first one that was really heavily McGee focused.
I think from what I think you're
About
right.
Face, for instance, is a Jimmy Palmer centric episode.
Right.
Okay.
And I remember how important it was for Brian at
Oh
that
my
time.
God.
But the Probie thing, you're right. And when I was watching it again, to refresh my memory.
Well, I hadn't watched that episode, by the way, I think in 19 years.
Wow.
And when I went to it, I remember thinking like, God, the great thing about sort of doing this rewatch thing is that I watched them when they aired,
Right.
and then I never went back. I was sort of sent fan videos and things like that where they would put like compilations,
Sure.
They would do all that stuff. And so you'd be like, oh God, I remember that scene. But the actual sitting through the entire episode, I hadn't done in forever.
Yeah.
And so when I watched this, I was like, man, it was so cool because for me, it was a character defining episode. You found out so much about the character of McGee.
Yeah.
And especially towards the end, one of my favorite things about the end is, well, does it matter? And then you say, of course it matters.
Does it really matter?
Yeah. It matters.
To me, that was like the best part of the episode. And the reason why is because the whole thing that was kind of fantastic about it is that it didn't matter if you actually killed the person or not to a lot of people. But for you, that really did matter. Like it did matter. And
for McGee, absolutely.
because you say, oh, it's the first time he kills, but I was going to say, well, you don't know if he actually killed him. Because that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's part.
That's the whole thing.
That's right.
You
That's part of what the
don't know if you
investigation.
actually had the kill shot.
Right.
But when at the very end, when Greg Lee and you and Harmon are in the driveway, and then he like turns around and hits Gibbs and is pulling a weapon, and you hesitate, and Gibbs goes bang bang,
Yeah.
and kills him.
I take the fall for you.
Second guess yourself again.
He says, "Don't if you ever do that again, like there'll be nothing left of you, essentially." And what's great about that from a storytelling perspective is it didn't give you the kill shot. It didn't, a normal kind of let's build McGee into a hero. So the end of the episode is like McGee learns how to kill.
Right. No, that was definitely not it.
But by the way,
still
that's
had
the
the
thing about the
hesitation.
show that's always so good, right? The fact that, and I think we got better at that none of us, at the end of the day, we all had our hero moments, right?
Right, but everyone had flaws.
Oh,
or, like,
that's
they're
exactly
human.
it. We all had the moments where we fell on our ass, and we had to pick ourselves up, and we had to face the
Sometimes
fact
running
that,
through a car wash.
but we all had to sort of like lick our wounds. You know what I mean?
Greg Lee, who plays the dirty cop in this one, who gets
was really
shot
good, too.
at the very end. Guess how I knew Greg Lee?
How did you know?
Did
Greg
you
Lee?
work with him in Dark Angel?
Yes.
How did I know that?
DA?
How did I know that?
Yes, he was one of Max's brethren, one of the brothers, and so I had met him a few years before, obviously, and so it's always interesting when you work with people that you worked with on another show.
Yeah,
and my I mean, the character on Dark Angel was like in a wheelchair with glasses and, you know, and here I am running around with like totally different hair. But the character itself was such a like giant leap in a different
From
direction.
what the Dark Angel character was, absolutely.
And also you were such a different person.
A different human. Yeah.
In a different set.
Different
with
gear shifting.
Different freedoms.
Yes. A lot of growth had happened. And so that was another kind of thing that I wanted to touch on, which is the growth component of an episode like Probie.
Yeah.
When you're feeling, because you talked, you know, the first time we were here about how you were growing from the season 1 to the season 3 to the season 5, and when you felt like I can't be Probie anymore, I can't be. But this episode is called Probie.
It is called Probie.
And it's a real pivot point. And I wonder if like you look at your career on the show from that vantage point at all. Do you see these demarcated points?
Yeah, I do a little bit. And Probie was definitely the one that stands out to me almost more than any of them. There was something we did in season 1. I think it was called, I think the episode was called Dead Man Talking, where we were all doing shifts, surveillance on our gal across the street.
You know, the quicker you get this done, the more quality time you have to spend with a certain tattooed forensic technician of the goth persuasion.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, come on.
Some of the initial McGee behaviors were like born in that episode. So I between Tony and McGee.
Right.
And I remember
creating
like
the dynamic.
Yeah, I remember that dynamic being created.
And that dynamic was a carry on because I, in the very first episode, Harmon was making movie references.
Isn't the president's head down here someplace?
No.
No, this is in the movie. Yeah. Harrison was sitting right here.
And then that shifted
Right, and
to
then you
where
adopted
DiNozzo
them.
started doing the movie references because Mark didn't, I don't think I can't speak for him, but it felt like he didn't want to do that throwaway humor because Gibbs was like this.
Yeah.
And I started to see what Mark was pulling from his true character, as a very formidable man, and as somebody who is earnest and has a singular focus and isn't silly. Mark's not a silly human. And so
Are you?
I started to play whatever Mark did, I would do the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would watch him in blocking and I'd be like, whatever he does, if he's wearing a jacket, I take my jacket off. If he's sitting forward, I'm leaning back. Whatever it was. And then he would slap my head and I would say, thank you. Or it's good that you're back, boss. Or, you know, yeah, I should have seen that coming or whatever. There was always, but it was never like, if he fucking punches me one more time, I'm going to knock it. Like there was never a reaction. And the point was that was the dynamic. But then the dynamic was like, little brother. Yeah. Hi, little brother.
Yes.
Now, daddy just hit me. So guess what I'm going to do to you?
I'm going to bully you. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so that became this kind of river of behavior. And, you know, Ducky would walk through and be like, oh, I don't have time for this. I mean, my God. You know, I rode a horse through Macy's in the 60s with John Lennon. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, he was famous before you were born. Stop it. And so you're doing the Probie. You have to fire a weapon. Do you think that you had fired a weapon before that episode? I'm not sure.
That's a good question because we used to kind of early on we kept McGee away from the shooting a little bit, being a rookie agent. So I think that might have been the first time that shots were fired.
And you're
McGee.
left-handed.
I'm a lefty.
So does that affect the weapon at all?
The safety is on the other side. There's a whole thing there. Yeah, you got a special holster.
But is it a left-handed gun?
No, it's a regular gun.
I didn't know if they made left-handed
as far as I know,
weapons.
they don't make left-handed guns. They got left-handed holsters, but
because sometimes on rifles, there's like on the butt of a rifle, there's like a chin rest. And stuff.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if they.
I don't know if they have. I'm not familiar enough with. My gun work is not.
I know,
but you do have gun face.
Yeah.
Oh, we've all got our gun face. We've all got good gun face.
Let's
This
each
is
of us
a good game.
Okay,
This is a good game.
I want you to look at Cote with the gun face so that camera can get there.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'll do
I know
it.
If you
exactly
need to-
what this
if you
face
need to
looks like.
prepare-
No, I remember the gun face. No, I remember the gun face.
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Go.
Yours. Oh, yeah.
That's it. That was yours. Definitely. Tongue under the lower lip and badass.
Okay. Dude, show
Okay,
me.
now you. No,
Oh, me?
yeah.
Okay. Hold on. I got it.
Get comfy. And your turquoise shirt.
Mine was this. Little mouth a little open.
Yeah, slightly open.
Little Zoolander.
But wait a minute, why is it quivering? Why is it quivering?
Because I'm nervous because I'm going to shoot somebody.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's acting.
It's not,
a
not
lot
really.
at stake.
It's
A
not
lot at
really.
stake, Cody.
Okay. Show me yours then.
Mine was just very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Dorco. She was trained by Mossad. She was trained by the best. Oops. Oh.
I think it's I have a microphone in front of me, so
Like a cat.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yeah. No,
It's
I'm,
so
I'm
bright.
right back there. Oh,
right
yeah.
there, right?
Like-
right back there?
Right back there,
Just
for real.
Boom.
Yeah. I'm so glad we stopped to talk about Gunface for a
Yeah.
while.
No, we had to do
Just
Gunface.
even for our own benefit.
So you're doing the show. Do you remember, Cote DiPablo, the B story, the subplot in Probie?
Oh my God. It was one of my favorite subplots, by the way.
Oh, really? Do tell. What's it about? I seem to have forgotten.
No, you don't, which is why you bring it up. It's about DiNozzo making deposits.
The deposits where?
Sperm bank.
Why'd you do it? You didn't need the money.
It was easier than giving blood.
You enjoyed making those deposits.
Wasn't it? It was.
It was.
It was. And
Yes.
it was really
And
funny
do you
because you
remember-
were trying to keep it away from everyone.
was.
And then Ziva was all over
And
it.
Ziva was all over it, almost too much, in the sense that at one point she says, was there a penalty for early withdrawal?
Oh, yes.
And DiNozzo goes, you're a sick chick, David.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Did we
What
do
I mean,
that?
Yeah, we did that.
we actually had a moment when we were, right before we started this, and we were revisiting this particular episode, and we thought, man, the writing was so solid. It was so good. And I
Yes.
think it was all, we were still very much defining our characters, right?
Yeah,
we
and
were very much defining our characters. So these lines were so infused with life and what the characters were thinking. And by then, I think after season 3, halfway through season 4, I think we had found this synergy between all of us and the frequency was already set. So then, but it was just so much fun to discover.
Is it one of your
And to
favorite
play.
episodes looking back?
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
where would
and in terms of what you're talking about, like our scripts,
They were tight.
so well written.
They were tight.
You could see the beats all on the page.
All of them.
You knew you couldn't forget it. You knew
No.
exactly what it was. When so
and they
many
weren't
times you
writing
read
it
it.
out. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
really
here's
fun.
here's something to think about. And when we go in the Wayback Machine here.
Those were Belisario days.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
We
at
go
the
in the
helm.
Wayback Machine to this, and I know that you're still making the show now. Congratulations on that. And
Yeah,
really,
I mean, my
hats
God,
off
how
to
many
you.
years?
I mean, I don't know how many.
We're in our 21st season.
I don't know how many years you can be
21
on
shows.
the number one
No,
show, but it's a
wait.
nice.
We're in our
good feeling.
21st season.
21.
And you've done it 21?
Well, I've technically been a regular 20 seasons, but it's 21st
No,
season.
but I mean, you
yeah.
were on it season 1.
Yeah,
So you've been
that
doing
Sub
it
Rosa episode was
over-
like season was
Over 20 years.
Yes. Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
So
It's you and Mariska Hargitay, man.
It's a few of us. I think Cool J's in there too somewhere.
when you're doing this much, you do get to a point where, because in the beginning we're finding the show, like you just said, then
Yeah.
it starts to become Technicolor, and you're starting to discover like, oh, we can use this color and use that,
Yeah.
and you've got this paint box out, and you're still experimenting, and how that gets found, future filmmakers and TV purveyors, how that gets found isn't by trying to be perfect every take. Perfect is the enemy of good when it comes to this, right?
Which is where the concept of play comes in.
We would play the scene,
Yeah.
damn the torpedoes. And if I got my line wrong and I called her Mrs. Burnaby instead of Mrs. Sherman, you'd be like, I think it's Mrs. Sherman, not
With the
Burnaby.
quivering lip.
Right. Yeah.
With the quivering
And
lip,
then-
which was
and-
my favorite thing about that character.
But I mean, a lot
McGee.
of, now it would be like, oh, I got that
slightly
wrong.
afraid of like correcting the older brother always.
course,
like you
of
didn't
course.
know what was going to happen.
But you know what I mean? Now you just be like, oh, I got that wrong. And then you take the paragraph back and just shoot it again so that we just have it.
Yeah.
Whereas we would, whatever happened while we were rolling, became the scene.
Yes.
Even if it was
Sandbox rules.
Sandbox rules.
Hey, Gunface, come on.
Come on, it's classic NCIS.
Classic NCIS.
And Kiss comes on the way back machine.
Yeah, man.
Sandbox rules.
Sandbox rules.
Sandbox
Explain
rules.
sandbox
That would
rules
have been,
as
by
they
the
are.
way, that would have been a really good title for the show.
Sandbox
rules.
Explain to the people at home the sandbox rules.
Well, I mean, maybe it's a little different for everyone, but I think for us, sandbox rules was when we were there, we were inside the thing between
in the sandbox.
action and cut. We were in the sandbox, and there were no rules in the sandbox because we gotta explore and discover and find things.
But it was also like you started and you didn't stop. Like you went through it, unless of course something tragic happened. But
Right.
for the most part, it was like, we're going to go and we're going to finish and we're going to see what happens.
We're just going to live through it and see where it
We're just going to
goes.
live through it.
And a lot of discovery that happens there starts to inform these pivots in character because you start to see Probie and the Probalicious and the McProbie and all the nicknames that were sort of ad-libbed and came out of a sandbox place.
Yeah.
And a lot of the, I discovered subtext. So I would say the subtext. That was one of my sandbox rules.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I've talked to you about that, like I said earlier, last time I was here, I was talking about you have to be present. You made me a good listener, a very good listener.
You had to be.
You had to listen.
Yeah.
Or you were dead in the wild, maybe.
I was always watching so closely what everyone was doing because I was in awe of everybody's skill sets. You could do this stuff that I did not. It's like when I talk to my wife about math and I'm like,
What?
I don't get it. Like, she's doing 6th grade math with my daughter right now. And I'm like, I'm out. I'm like, couldn't pass a test. And the 6th grade math, way beyond me.
Can I say something about because we're again together in one of my favorite moments of season 3. And we had a couple, but we would go, and I'm not sure which trailer, if it was mine, it was yours, or it was Michael's. And we became like rampant fans of The Room, the movie The Room. Remember?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Remember? And we would watch it and watch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. And then we would go into set and then we would crack each other up.
Yeah. We would be
crack
doing The
each
Room
other up.
inside the show.
And everyone was wondering what the hell we were
And
doing.
we would be
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
Stripes like references and all that
yeah.
stuff inside the show. I mean, we would just add it.
Well, all the stuff you were throwing out too early on. I mean, I remember a couple of times you turning to me going, I think I may get fired for this.
Yeah.
I think I may lose my job.
And see, what a lot of people don't understand is that we, at that point, had established sandbox rules, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So within the context of that, we allowed a lot of things to happen because we were experimenting, we were playing, we felt safe, and kind of at that moment, a different time, but kind of anything went. But that came with a lot of trust.
I'll go.
Yes, it
I'll
did.
go
Because
into
we
it.
were really building characters. We were really trying to, and we would push the envelope. And at times we would really push it. And at times we did things that were maybe,
You get the 11 o'clock phone call from Dawn.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
the
And
scene,
those things, by the way, never made it.
the scene where DiNozzo goes over to the Probie house, to the apartment, and you're typing at your desk.
Yes.
But you're really freaking out and having like a panic attack about the fact that you've killed someone and you are not coping well. And DiNozzo comes over. He's like, we're going to go out. We're going to do, and he's trying to cheer you up.
Open up, McGee.
Tony, I'm really not in the mood.
Let me in.
What's interesting about that scene is it starts with each character in very much solidly in where they are, who they are, in the strict sort of defined little, with margins and everything. It's very,
Structure.
DiNozzo's going to be like, come on, I'm flippant and shallow and I'm going to do this. And you're like earnest and you don't understand and I don't expect you to understand.
Well,
'cause
and
you're-
also going through high conflict.
Right.
Like
but
complexity
in
of
character.
the storm
But
inside.
then DiNozzo comes over and flips open and says, the first time I ever shot at somebody, I wet my pants. And
Remember that,
and
yeah.
he's not kidding.
Yeah.
And he's not. Now, I remember at the time thinking, is he making it up to make McGee feel better? And I made the choice that he wasn't.
I remember you doing that. I remember that moment.
Because
of that
if I
line
made the choice that I was lying, then there's...
It wouldn't have been a very
Right.
interesting choice.
But it's like...
And it probably would have also still kept you in that narrow margin.
Right. And the thing was, if you tell anybody that I wet my pants the first time, like I will erase you from the planet Earth.
Right.
And
well, I think it was a gesture of friendship, like true friendship.
But
like
it
you were
also-
dropping all of that stuff and you were like, look, dude, I'm going to show you a little bit of who I am, the cracked me, the scared me, the vulnerable me. And I think those were you didn't see that, especially from your character,
Right.
very often until later on in the show.
But you're
where
showing the
we started
audience.
all cracking in our own way.
But you're
Yeah.
showing the audience extra layers, components, levels. And I think that what's infinitely great about, the show is that no one just stayed as one thing. Probie, this was the episode where Probie grows, but it's not like at the cost of everyone else's characters staying static.
Right.
We see DiNozzo turn
We're all
and
growing.
open a
Always.
door.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing our relationship deepens through the teasing.
The alley scene, it's one of my favorite scenes.
You're enjoying this a lot, aren't you?
Oh, yes. And I remember
That's right.
reading that script, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to channel my Meg Ryan. And I remember it was like a little thing that I played every once in a while. I would just be like, oh, I'm going to play the scene a la boom, and that scene was that. And it was such a fun
That's another
scene. That's
actor
a
trait.
really fun scene.
That is a good scene. That is a really good scene.
It's a
of you
fun
guys in
scene
the
because
alley,
it was
yeah.
also was written really well. You know what I mean? And because at the end you find the bullet, and then in the middle, it's like the character's teasing him, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to play a little bit."
You also
and-
had a terrific coat on, by just, I'm
Oh,
just throwing
that
out
coat
there.
is
That
so
coat was
cool,
a
right?
thing of beauty.
I remember you thinking all the time, you were really into fashion. You've always been into fashion, but that particular coat was pretty cool with the red inside, right?
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
know,
I
I know you
remember.
like that.
Was there a moment in real life, in Sean life, where you had some self-doubt about where you might be able to bring the character, or if you had another gear, because we're all aspiring to kind of figure out a place, but sometimes it's like Jim Carrey in The Truman Show, you're like, it's just a sky wall. It's just there's no going past that wall,
Yeah.
which I have occasionally hit as an actor. It's like I'm not a classical musician. I will never be good at math. There are certain things I can't do. And you either embrace that or it makes you have huge doubt. Like, if I can't do that,
Right.
did you ever have that? Like, was there ever a moment in your career on the
But it's very
NCIS?
funny because when we started talking about this episode, one of the things you said is like, oh man, I have to deliver. I mean, for me, when I read that episode, I was like, oh, what a wonderful opportunity, and plus there was no doubt in my mind you would deliver. Like, that's the thing about a lot of the actors that we were all working with, our ensemble. When everyone got their turn, like everyone could bat.
Yeah.
But inside the Sean head, how did you
Sure.
feel?
And that, yeah.
We'll see what happens. You know how it is. You've got.
But do you feel like you
what we
put pressure
do-
on yourself? Did you ever put
Oh, I've
pressure
always
on
put
yourself?
pressure on myself, and I don't
And
know. I kind
did
of
you have
feel
the
like,
doubts, like going into it,
I
like,
think
oh my God?
I think everyone always has some sort of doubts. I think that if you don't have any doubts and you're completely comfortable with everything you're doing, then maybe you should do something else.
Do you think there was
But-
a cheerleader on set? Someone that was coming behind you at some point and going, you got this, buddy?
You were a cheerleader for me more than you probably know, Michael.
Oh, you see?
Honestly.
Like a little...
Because because as you and I have talked about, and all three of us, we were in the fucking trenches. We were doing long days. We were the family. We were together
And what
more than
people
we were
don't
seeing
know is
our
that we were
own-
so far away from like other stages. It was just us. We were
Yeah, we
isolated
weren't on a
in Santa
lot
Clarita.
next to these
No,
other
we weren't.
shows.
We weren't
We
like
were-
at the Paramount lot. We weren't at the Stony stages.
We were in our
weren't
own
really-
world in so many ways.
And we were so far away from that, even distance-wise, location.
Yeah.
So we were insular in so many ways. And that was,
You
it
could
was like a
smell the
vacuum.
peanuts from Magic Mountain. If you really look at the arc of the characters on the show, the characters do change over time, and the show changes over time.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, like I was saying to you, I think that you were the one who, at a certain point, wanted to put Probie in the past tense. But this is the episode that came to you and said, here we go. We're going to go do this.
Yeah.
And you had to bring it. You had to come out and be...
Better bring it. Gotta bring it.
You did. By the way, did you know that it was the most watched show of season 3?
No kidding. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
We were told this, and we were like, wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's time to ask for a raise.
Really
Too late.
20 years in.
That episode gets brought up to me more than probably any other episode.
Yeah, I
Probie,
didn't know that, and I was like, wow, we got to tell Chunks about those.
I love it.
What do you think the biggest Probie mistake you have made? Like when you think about like being a parent, or when you think about just something you questioned and you were like,
I think there was plenty of that.
Shouldn't have gotten a Labrador.
No, I mean, I think there was plenty of that as we went, just in terms of working. I was always trying to figure it out and and I bounced a lot of what I did off of what you guys did. I mean, the reactions I got from you, the flavors that I got from, I would kind of feel like it was working or not, depending on that stuff. I couldn't have done any of that without you guys to bounce all that off of.
I know I feel absolutely the same. And
I feel absolutely the same. And I will say, sometimes when I watch the old shows, and I have to make a segue for this because season 3 has a special place in my heart. First of all, of course, it was my first season, but season 3 was like a magical time for me. It was really, truly magical. And there were times when I used to stand and I used to say, don't tell the CBS people, but I would have done this for free. Like I would go home and I would say, I can't believe I get paid. And it's a true statement. Seasons later.
Yeah, later on you were like, you're going to pay me for this.
But season 3 was just like when you're just like falling in love with all of it. And it was just so magical. And the things were just happening so organically. And I would watch all of these characters come to life and us digging and finding and these wonderful moments. And I have to say this, what you were bringing to the table was so complex, delicate, and so strong because you had to be in many ways a foil for these 2 other babbling fools, and we had to bounce stuff off you completely, and you were so good.
Teflon.
You were so good.
But if you guys weren't so good, I wouldn't have been able to bounce any of that shit back.
So give me, if you could want a nutshell, just in kind of, coming to where you are now, how would you describe the arc? Early season Sean, season 3 Probie, all the way to now. Like,
I've never sat down and done the sort of.
That's why they invented
Give us
podcast.
The thing.
Yoda.
I don't. It just sort of. I never had. It just kind of naturally occurred. I don't. I mean, even when like episodes like Probie, episodes where our character would find some more growth, and I think one of the things that's so great about. I mean, it's maybe this is unspoken, but this is, you're talking about season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3 was a very special season because it's like the first 2, we were figuring out what we were figuring out our strengths. The characters definitely sort of were emerging and everything, and we were realizing that I think our strength was definitely in the characters and not in the procedural of it all. That became very kind of secondary.
Evident.
It was, very much in the characters. And I feel like growing with the production, my character kind of grew with the thing. And as things happen, as the Tony character moved on, that gave McGee an opportunity to step up.
To take the desk.
He sits at take Tony's old desk.
That's kind of a nice thing. It's a very familial show in that sense. There's a hand-me-downs, kind of exist. Yeah. And I think that the audience also that went through, I mean, I've met so many people that went through COVID learning about NCIS. I'll be at Dairy Queen with my kids and there'll be these 20-year-olds that are like, oh my God, you're my COVID show.
Right.
I'm like, oh. Wow.
Have you had experiences like that? Like when you're traveling and when you're walking with your family, people coming up to you?
I mean, there's definitely.
Do you feel the love from the fandom?
Absolutely.
Do you have stories, with like a particular story that jumps at you?
With maybe like one exception.
We all have
got the one exception.
Who are you and why are you in my kitchen?
Right.
Put the knife down.
We've got the best fans. It's like unbelievable. It's like the characters are friends of a lot of these people and they just, everyone, literally like 99.9% of the people that have come up to me in any country are just like they love the show. They love the characters. They want to get a picture with you and say that they've been in the same space as, Tony or McGee or Ziva or whatever, and,
did you feel like in season 3, when did you feel like, did you always feel like this was a family? Or was there a specific moment when you felt like,
After you arrived, it started feeling much more of a family. And I'm not just saying that because you're standing in front of me. I swear to God.
I swear to God.
And I love Sasha Alexander to death. And I don't mean in any way against her. But there was, and I think it was just part of the time of
it was like an energy thing. I think there was something.
Lauren Holly came in, the Jenny Shepard of it all. And then, so you sort of had mom and dad almost.
And by the way, can we talk about that for a moment? Because I revisited those shows with mom and dad, Jenny and Gibbs. And I guess maybe I was too young. I was too naive. I was too, I don't know, self-absorbed. But I watch it now with different eyes. That was a sexy, they had some sexy moments.
Paris in 99.
Gibbs became very much a father figure to all of us. Sure. But you get to see the man, Yeah. And that's so important.
I think they were good about giving those glimpses, like not
and you
overloading
you had to because you also you saw him having fun with it. You saw him kind of like in his own way, in a Gibbsian, like he was flirting, And I see it now, and I'm like, oh my God, it was done so subtle, and it was done so beautifully by Mark. It was crafted so nicely. He just kind of threw it away effortlessly, but it tracks so well.
No,
it was so sexy. There was something about it that was really sexy.
When you have an episode like Probie air on a Tuesday night at 8:00, 7 Central, the next morning or that night, does your phone ring? And do you have someone that calls you and says, Sean, that was a great episode, like your mom or your dad? Or anyone? Or would it be crickets?
Or would it be just like us going, Sean, that was a really good episode at the moment?
I think it was about us supporting each other. And I mean, we were so entrenched in it. We were just trying to get sleep at night.
Did you get the parent phone call? Because I would get
You were really good at that. I have to say, you were one of the few people that, I mean, we all had our moments, of course, but I remember getting a phone call from you specifically. And I was like, oh, Sean's calling me, and it's a Saturday at 10 a.m. Why? I was like, we spent every day, Monday through Friday. Why? And then I was like, hey, Chunks, what's going on? And I thought maybe something was going on. You were just so cool. That was always like such a cool defining thing about you as a human being. The fact that you could grab the phone or, and of course we've all had those moments, but you were saying that and I was like, oh, you've done that with me. So yes, you're right. We did support each other.
Yeah, no, as much as we were workmates on, this show together, we were very much a family and we were very close, friends and still are. So, I mean, that was something, and we've all been on shows where that doesn't happen. And we know how rare that is.
Yeah.
Well, we said it last time, but it was 10 years we had been in the same room. And now, I feel like no time has gone by.
No, I saw both of you guys here, and it was like
no time.
Just
we're just
around
right back at the squad room. Exactly.
I started talking about the dentist chair, and I'll go back to it because it is weirdly like it is a time machine. You just feel
you
like
really like that dentist thing.
Well, I don't know why it's the dentist. It's just like once you get into that chair and they put the thing, you're like, I'm in this thing again.
Yeah.
But is it a good thing or a bad thing? Because to me, the dentist is never a good thing.
It's just the sameness.
You're like, it's going to be pretty.
I'm not going to good or bad it. I'm just going to go, it's the quality of sameness. And because it is obviously good to be with both of you, but there's this, it is a weird, almost there is no past, there is no future. There is just this moment that we live in that's created. And that when we found each other, it's like we'd always known each other in some way. And it was just...
Oh. Do you mean to tell me that you're actually admitting to the fact that we have been here before?
When my parents would call me about the show afterwards, my mother... Well, my father never calls, but I'd have to call him on a Sunday.
You were like, Dad, did you like my episode?
And he'd say, I don't watch it. But my mom would call and she'd say...
Oh, Michael.
I thought Sean was so good. And when this happened and that happened, your character's not as complicated as that, is it? And I'd be like, Mom, she's like, is there any... And then I'd finally talk to my dad on Sunday.
He's like the most complex, by the way. The most complex character in NCIS.
In episode 10, Agent McGee makes a split-second decision that almost costs him his career. Answer the questions in the following scenarios in 3 seconds or less. Sean, scenario 1, you're at a friend's party when you're suddenly pushed onto stage for karaoke. The only songs available are Bohemian Rhapsody, I Will Always Love You, and Take On Me by A-ha. Which do you choose?
Ooh, I think I got to go with the Take On Me. I mean, it'll be a disaster, but that's going to go. Ooh. Take on me. I'll do this. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Take on me.
Sean, your second scenario. A squirrel sneaks into your house and is causing chaos in the middle of the night. Do you find something to chase it away with, hide and hope it goes away, or run out of the house in terror?
I can't put earplugs in? No.
2.
Ignore.
I chase it out of my house? I don't. Is that one of the options?
You would chase it away.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm going to give you that one.
Thank you.
Scenario 3, you accidentally reply all to a company email with a joke meant for a friend.
Oh.
Do you pretend it didn't happen, roll with it and hope it goes over well, or claim your email was hacked?
Roll with it and hope it goes over well. You got to take the responsibility.
Accountability.
Roll with it. Hope it goes over well. Cote de Pablo, I've got some scenarios for you.
Go.
You're called up to stage at your child's talent show, unaware that you're supposed to have a prepared act. Do you quickly showcase a made-up talent, apologize to your child and walk away, or take the opportunity to pontificate about your career to other parents?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Do you quickly showcase a made-up talent? You don't have to air
Yes. I would do that.
You would improv.
Yeah.
Quickly showcase a made-up talent.
I think we've all done it.
You dine at a new local restaurant and the staff mistakenly believes you're a famous food critic. They keep bringing gourmet dishes for free. Do you go along with it and give exaggerated critiques, confess the mistake, but offer to write an online review, or slip away when no one's noticing after you've filled your belly?
No, number 2. For sure. I'd be like, oh, yeah, somebody's making a terrible mistake here, feeding me all these wonderful things. I will, however,
confess
give you
the
a
mistake. You're honest.
Yeah, I would say, I'm sorry. It's just not, I think you're, well, but it's true. Wouldn't you do the same? No, you would go quietly out.
I think I would try and play along just out of and then I would just fall apart at some point. And
the game section always offers unique insight
into people's minds.
It does. And I think what we learned is you are really honest. Like way too honest.
Who, me?
This one.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
You are also honest?
Yeah, but not on the level of the Cotes.
No. I just want to wrap up by saying it's very emotional to be together.
Yes, it is.
It's awesome to spend this time. Let's
give thanks.
Promise to try and do it again.
Yes.
Maybe without cameras and microphones.
But also, would you come back again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, not that we would change our behavior at all without cameras and microphones. We might be a little freer. Maybe just a smidge. Yeah. But you, McProbalicious, beautiful man that you are, beautiful father that you have become, and husband and son and friend. Mm-hmm. May you live to be 1,000 years old. So.
Oh, my God.
And on that note,
I love you, man.
Hamster 5, hamster 10.
I love both of you guys so much. It's so good to see you. Honestly, really, it's like, yeah.
I'm a little emotional after spending time with Sean again.
No.
It was nice, though.
It was really nice. It was like wearing a warm, fuzzy coat.
He's so genuine.
Yeah, and I think it was like really wonderful for all of us to be in the same room together and reminisce about that wonderful, wonderful time.
I feel full. You know what I'd like to do right now?
What would you like to do?
Answer questions from the fans. Meeting each other for the first time, what was the first impression you made of the other that turned out to be wrong?
Oh, okay. Oh, this is really cool. I thought you were...
Took a twist.
Yes. I met you. I had no thoughts whatsoever. But then halfway through the...
I'm sorry. What happened?
I'm sorry.
I unimpressed you?
Wait.
Thoughts.
I'm going somewhere with this.
I met you and thought...
No, because the first time I met you was during my final callback, my test. Right. So I wasn't thinking of anything other than just getting through the scene. And I think I know we've talked about this moment plenty, but the moment you went off the script was the moment I thought, oh God, he's so unprofessional. Later, I realized that that is what made you. And it's the reason why I think there was a lot of fun bits to be discovered, because you always kept me on my toes.
You know, because I was auditioning with a few different people.
I don't think we've ever talked about this. I think you auditioned with one person,
right,
but I didn't know about other people.
But well,
wait a minute. I'm starting to get slightly jealous. What's happening? What is this?
But I know that my first impression was, as I've said before, I thought you were extremely professional and obviously striking and had all that energy and everything. And I would say that I was on my toes around you a lot. And that first impression really lasted. And I think, and we talk about this another time deeper, but when you told me that I laugh when I'm uncomfortable in a way that maybe...
Yes, but by the way, that was like midway through season 3. Yes.
That's when I knew that there was a part of you that was going to be my teacher, that you were going to be this, that you were going to, So that I didn't expect. From my first impression with you, I thought...
No, you thought actually that I was going to be that I was going to be a pain in the ass.
Difficult.
Right.
But
do you still think that?
No. I know now that you're difficult. Before I thought it. And now I'm like confirmed. So that was my big thing, is you are this, you see things that in me that I felt you drew out these things, and then we had this connection, and that was not something I necessarily thought. I knew we had chemistry. I just didn't see quite how deep it was going to go. Gibbs rule number 42.
Oh God. How many did he have?
Do you know it?
No.
Never accept an apology from somebody who just sucker punched you.
Well, by the way, that would make sense.
Who makes these things?
I don't know.
Never accept. It's like, does that hurt?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh,
you're
okay.
sorry, but you just sucker punched me. Never accept that apology. Did you know that you can watch all episodes of NCIS on Paramount Plus, and you can watch the new episodes of NCIS on the network, CBS?
Next week.
Off duty.
On off duty.
Yeah.
We're going to rewatch an episode about a supermodel. Supermodel was found dead after having overdosed at a Marine base where the reality TV show in which she was participating was being filmed. Oh, man. I hate when that happens.
Your parents visited the set that day.
Did they? Oh, my God. My parents visited Yes, they did.
See,
how did you remember that?
How do I remember it? That's why I'm on off duty.
Her ex-boyfriend is also found dead in the motel nearby, having overdosed on heroin, leading the team to believe that their deaths may have been related to the relationship. Death, mystery, drama. It's season 3, episode 11, Model Behavior.
Model Behavior. Foof.